Hey, what's up, guys? This is gonna be my second backtesting video. Um, After looking at the first one that I did, I realized I low-key skipped a lot of um data without really looking at all the time frames, and I missed out, I think, on like 2, 3 trades that I would have taken. Um, and obviously in hindsight, they would have been bangers, but for this one, I'm gonna take more time with it. And also, I did skip the last week. This is the second recording, actually. I skipped the last week because that shit was ass, and I didn't find a single trade. And for that one, I actually went relatively slower too. So, okay, let's pull up Forex Factory here. Um, well, actually, I just go back to do this, and I think oh, it's the 27th. Okay, 27th, and there's new home sales for news. Okay, let's get right into the analysis. I'm gonna try to speed it up a bit more than the first one, but also try to take more time with it as well. So we did just enter this daily unmitigated fair value gap. That's probably going to create some sort of reaction higher. We still have like these slanted lows right here, but I don't really think we need to take them because of how far ES is. I feel like we're probably gonna go for a rebalance here. We also have a New York opening gap, and I can probably use that as a pretty solid draw. And because we're reacting from this sweep pretty heftily, I'm probably gonna lean more bullish. Um, Most likely towards these equal 15-minute highs are looking really juicy, and we also have a lot of um unmitigated hourly gaps that I can target. So see how price action plays out here. I'm hoping maybe for like a retracement. We're already inside of a gap here. Maybe like a retracement, a sweep, SMT, and then a banger long. Yeah. But Loki, this news is Loki a dark horse. It always does some crazy ass shit. So I'm gonna be careful. Looks like we have an SMT on the fair value gap, but and honestly, on second thought, we can probably also be more bearish as well, considering that we are beside those slanted lows. But I'd want to see this maybe like a mech model or some sort. Um, we tapped inside. Okay, we are right beside London highs, and we're inside this. I was gonna say we can take a mech probably. We are getting a resleep. SMT. I honestly don't really like taking mechs off just unfilled fair value gaps. Like I know that that is a thing, but we do have London high instead of this unmitigated gap, and we are leaving. Just the first break even. I mean, this would probably be the internal low right here, and we did close. But I'm gonna fade this just because I don't really like taking mechs off unfilled gaps. But see. 10 a.m. is about to open. 10 a.m. Minute plates downwards. We still technically have like I guess these 5 minute. We also have um Asia highs. I would want to see a pretty fat displacement lower first. S&T on this low right here, and that is pretty deep in the range. I would say like I feel like this is low-key too premium for me to take longs though. Um, yeah, I'd be shitting my pants if I actually took that shit. 10:15 opens. 10:15 opens, manipulates into this last 5 minute gap, and then S&T on all these lows right here as well. I could see this because we did generate. I do like this for a possible long opportunity towards more of these unfilled gaps above the next one. Oh shoot, there's an unfilled 4 hour right here too, which is actually juicy. Um, and then 10 a.m. really didn't do much except just generate liquidity. So yeah, I am wait interested in seeing this. Okay, this is gonna be kind of I do like this for entry, and then we are targeting. I guess this 15 minute. I'm gonna do a little bit of an extendo clip here, and then break even on these external highs. Damn, this shit's really thick. I made it thicker. But okay, I don't really like that. And then we have a pretty healthy close. See, this is what I mean by I need to be careful. Okay, honestly, this is still good. And my stop loss will be at this order block, this bullish order block. I could do an extendo clip right here, but I'm trying to play with lower stop losses. And then okay, we'll just first let this play out. Honestly, that's my break even. That's my TP. So, um, the idea behind this was we have this daily sweep inside this unmitigated gap, and we have a very bullish reaction from it. We have all these imbalances that need to be filled in order to rebalance the range. So, because we got that pretty fat displacement lower, I did what is it called? I do want to emphasize that I did not take this one because it was too premium, and I took this more discounted 5 minute entry because we had SMT on this. Even though we had SMT on the other one, I do, after sweeping out like London, I do want to see a pretty fat retracement lower in order to push us higher, and that's what we got. And then we also did have a very strong closure above this 3 minute gap that I really liked. So yeah, let's keep moving. And honestly, ideally, after winning a trade, I would probably hop off, but I am playing with. I just want to see if there's any more opportunities, so I'm gonna play this out till 11. We might just pump the rest of this session here We still do have this unmitigated 4 as well that could be targeting. Perhaps if we like generate. Yeah, I honestly would be off by then, and then there's no solid gap that I would want to be playing in here because these 5 minutes aren't really sponsored by much. Actually, they are sponsored by this 15 minutes, so I guess I could, but there isn't even a 5 minute for me to play off of. So next day, um, any on news, can be wary of that. Let's just see. Again, we're still reacting off this gap, and we left this New York opening gap open. Still, this is a fat displacement candle or fat wick. Um, Based off the daily, I'm still leaning more bullish, but we'll see into these. Um, I think short term, I'm leaning more bearish just because we are inversing a lot of these gaps. We do have SMT on London, which warranted retracement or sponsored a retracement. We still have on Asia lows here. I'm gonna lean more bearish going to market open, but reason behind that once again is we're inversing a lot of these bullish gaps, and then we did have this retracement into this hourly, which pushed us lower a bit, and it didn't really sweep out anything significant. Yeah, okay. Idea would be like potentially retrace again, resweep, push us lower towards Asia. We do have this SMT from London, but honestly, it's not in any significant gap, so I'm not really too wary of that. This could warrant a bullish move, but like I can see this honestly going both ways. Before a bullish move, like there isn't much of key level except like I guess this 15, but yeah. And right now we're inside this 15-minute gap, so we'll see. Off open banger. Um, can you take that shit either way? Holy fuck, holy dump. Um, it's almost like accumulation, manipulation, fat distribution lower. We're gonna see if we can catch a continuation move. That's my first target. Dunzos. My second target, now gone. Do I still have any more? Like, I still could see us going lower towards these lows right here too, because it looks like LR on the 5 minute. So it's gonna be wary of that. Maybe we can catch like a 5 minute retracement to this one, which is sponsored by this 15-minute gap. If that all ends up opening. Nope. And then what do we do here? Generated equal lows. Perhaps looking for a retracement higher in order to push us lower. And ideally, I want to find a trade like really soon. Was there an SMT there? No SMT. We are retracing higher inside these 5-minute gaps. News is about to drop to. This is the last place I would want to see this push up to. It is the most premium gap for shorts. And we no longer have an SMT bearish that is significant for me to care about. But we do also have news at 10, so I really do not want to see this push higher than this. Okay, showcasing some sort of respect here. 10 a.m. news pushes us higher, and we did inverse this gap. Am I still going to be looking for shorts? I could, because we did leave our data low candle here, and then we could be retracing to these, and then these just look really juicy for me to target. Fuck. Um, yeah, can't really do much from this point. Would I be taking any continuation longs? Did we rebalance into any gap here? Like it looks like this might have been the objective, and then now we're pushing higher towards more of these unfilled gaps, and maybe the London highs. So that could be a scenario, but then we're also tapping into this hourly gap. So let's see. Would I have taken anything? Nothing yet. We're tapping. We could potentially get a mech from here, because I am. Damn. Okay. Looks like we just want to push higher. Previous day highs inside of this gap. We also have New York opening gap above us too. Now I would want to see like a pretty fat displacement lower in order to push us higher. Because we did sweep out something pretty significant here. London highs, so I'd want to see us retrace maybe here, which is likely EQ'd the range, or close to it at least. Nope, not really that close, but it is sufficient enough that I would want to take a long from it if we start generating liquidity. I'm not going to be taking this 5-minute continuation because it is just too premium for me to take. Okay, we did just tap into the first 15-minute of the range. Is this still a bit too premium? It is low-key still too premium for me to take anything. And even though we do have SMT, like we swept out something pretty significant. We also have low resistance, 1-minute lows right here. So ideally, and we also have SMT on our break-even point too. So yeah, it's now 11. No trades. That's fine. Moving on to the next day. Well, this is the FOMC day. So I'd be a bit wary for the conditions. What are we doing here? We rebounce into this New York opening gap on ES. Also, we are displacing from this daily. And we do have a lot of unmitigated gaps below for us to fill. And also, probably 15-minute lowers in liquidity that we already did sweep out on ES. Would we want to push lower? Perhaps. I'd want to see more confirmation, but this we also have low resistance liquidity below as well. Maybe a retracement at this unfilled 15-minute gap below. I am still leaning more bearish, considering that we're displacing from this fresh unmitigated daily gap. We placed a lot of, we're just like throughout AM and London. Looks like we already got our objective higher and we're displacing lower, but we do have this pretty big SMT that I want to be wary about. And we still do have like some sort of liquidity below being previous day low. So, and we also have short-term lowers liquidity that has equal lows somehow. Okay. Off market open, we might just go and take out all of those low resistant draws. That's an SMT right there too. Inside of nothing. Looks like we just swept out we swept the Asia inside of no significant gap, so I can't really take them that long either way. Um, it honestly just looks like we want to displace lower, maybe towards. We just tapped into a fresh 4 hour. The fresh 4 hour. Now, I would be interested, honestly, in taking my longs from here. Maybe. See, because we left this unfilled 5 minute. Higher time frame though. I guess like this is a pretty good rejection spot. We have this intermediate hourly low. It's probably gonna be a 2 minute though. We would have to inverse 2 minute. Doesn't look like we're gonna get this 2 minute. Holy shit, we just edged that fucking 2 minute inversion. And honestly, it's now like pretty close to 10. So I wouldn't even want to take this 2 minute inversion if it does. Damn. We do have SMT on this 5 minute as well. It is FOMC, I gotta be wary of that, and we're just looks like we're just accumulating right now. So, what does 10 a.m. do? Manipulate it higher, perhaps, inside of 15. We are overall bearish going into the day. Do we have strong draws left? Not necessarily, but I could see us playing out. I guess we do have a fresh 2 hour gap right here. And then 10 a.m. is manipulating us higher inside of this 15-minute gap. This is pretty, in some of this range, it is pretty good, but this range, not the best. We do have some sort of low resistance right here, or a good accumulation range. And then we also have SMT on these highs inside of this 5 minute gap, so it is pretty significant here. And then it'd be the 2 minute that I'm looking to get an inversion on, which would have to happen right now. Okay, we got into this more premium gap on ES, so this would be a pretty solid spot take shorts from if I were to take a short. And then we did get that really strong closure right there as well. So this is my idea. It looks like on the NAS we are heavily respecting this first 15 minute gap. We decide to generate low resistance liquidity right here, and we also have a fat SMT inside of this more premium 15 minute gap right here. We have a very strong closure, and then our draws would be this low resistance, but on the higher time frame, what are we doing? I'm just spacing through all these gaps right here. We did tap into this fresh 4 hour, but because 10 a.m. decided to manipulate higher, times a fat SMT, manipulate higher, generate liquidity. Do we have 10 a.m. as well? We do also have 10 a.m. as a good draw. So I am going to take this short right here. Just make sure that's the highest inversion gap. And then my break even spot, probably this low inside of this. Holy fucking Drake candle lower. Break even. No way. That'd be stupidly unfortunate if we just fucking. Should that have been my break even spot? Kind of. Like, I'm not really sure. We'll see here. And we did not deliver, and also it is FOMC, so I guess that would be a reason why we're kind of just like not really delivering right away. That is pretty annoying, but maybe we generate. Okay, well, that was that day. One win, one break even. Not too shabby so far. I did like this though, and honestly, I really think that this break even spot, like I could have honestly, considering that it is FOMC, I could have maybe taken a 1-to-1 trade, but this is obviously hindsight. And honestly, like if I'm taking a trade like this, I'm not gonna just TP randomly for a 1-to-1 when there's a low right here. And it kind of looks like we're not really delivering properly, so moving on to the next day. Thursday, 8:30 news candle. Um, I do like to see New York opening gap as a solid draw to be filled in completely. That's knowledge based off the PB ILG traders, PB Blake and Patty. They also like to use that as a solid draw. Um, Higher time frame, we're still inside of this gap, but I'm now leaning more bullish because overnight we respect it. this fresh 4 hour and then began to displace higher through this 4 hour gap. And then now it just kind of looks like we're respecting the newly created 4 hour gap in order to push us higher. And then in terms of draw, we have London highs. We did already sweep out Asia highs, and we still do have draws lower, but I am still leaning more bearish. We closed above this hourly gap as well. I could see us maybe displacing lower, hopefully, towards this more discounted area for longs and then pushing us higher. But these look very fucking juicy right here. Oh, not really, actually. Okay, let's get skipped playing. Do I see an opportunity for shorts here as well? We are in a position for shorts as well. SMT on this 30-minute gap, so it kind of just depends on market open. Seeing where it takes us higher time from leaning more bullish. And then both of our data candles are now swept as well, so it's insignificant for us. We aren't really in a key level that I'd be interested in taking shorts from right now. We did sweep out this intermediate 5-minute low inside of this discounted fair value gap. I want to see like this right here would be high resistance to target regardless, because it is the high that swept out this 30-minute inside of a gap. So I just personally wouldn't be a fan of taking that. And considering that we already have an SMT on this as well, that's even lesser probability of taking that bullshit. Okay, we did now disrespect this bearish SMT. So ideally what I could do is look for more long opportunities. I just would like to see us enter some sort of gap. And our draw is going to be London highs. Let's keep it playing. You might just sweep out London highs. Wait, is this just London high? Oh shoot. Let's erase these. We did sweep out London high on ES. We still do have previous day highs as well to target, but we don't really need to go for that no longer because we do have an SMT, so there's no reason for us or we don't really need to take that draw out on ES. But that being said, we do have New York opening gap that is still not fully filled, so I could still use that as a draw on liquidity. We're just placing higher here. Or we just edged this and also this very suspicious looking candle. And then, like I said before, we have New York opening gap to target on the NAS, so it's still a pretty solid draw. Probably look for a retracement lower first. And then we can also just slip bearish, because we did just sleep a lot of these draws too. 10 a.m. is about to open. Would I look for a 5-minute continuation from here? I wouldn't mind it. but it's not really sponsored by much. I guess 5 Minute can't really be sponsored by 5 Minute. Um, we're just gonna have to see, depending on what we create here. 10 a.m. opens, lower. No, we have this orange folder news. 10 a.m. closes. Drake candle lower. We left data highs, orange folder news, and swept up a bunch of liquidity, and then we just swept out this hourly low inside of this. Didn't we tap into this gap? I'd be interested in taking potential longs, like a mech long of some sort. Nothing here. We did just take out all of our draws. And then if I'm going to be interested in shorts, this 5 minute is now sponsored by this gap right here, so it's not even that bad of an idea. And I know I'm flipping my bias a good amount, but um, like this right here, this sweep, we don't really need to go for these highs right here because it's probably seen as protected now that we just rejected off of it right away. I know some people use the wick as like a PRA, so that was almost perfect CE of the PDRA. So I could ideally see us pushing from this more premium gap lower, and then draws on liquidity would be like it is just kind of unfortunate because we did sweep out both of our draws. But we still do have previous day low to target. We tapped into this 5 minute. We did sweep out this intermediate. It's not really intermediate. It's not really in any significant gap either. Am I willing to take a short from this position right here? Probably not, considering we have a fat SMT. What are we doing here? It does look like now we're just displacing towards these lows. So I am interested in looking for shorts, but we need to get a bigger retracement higher before I can take an entry like that. So I know I'm skipping a lot. I would probably not be interested in taking longs from here because we're not really in any gap that I'm interested in taking longs from. I'm more interested in taking shorts given the fact that we are just displacing through a lot of these bullish gaps. I think we already got our objective from the bullish bias, and we're likely just going to retrace lower towards this is previous day low. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why it doesn't say previous day low. Okay, there you go. Previous day low. Okie dokie. Can we please get a retracement higher? Am I interested in taking? Not really. I really wanted to see like this 15 minute get tapped in first. Um, maybe a mech long. No, there honestly isn't really anything. Like I could have per maybe taken um this one right here. Mm, but then like the clothes is just so odd too. And it was like too premium for me to take anything from there. Um and I guess like since both the draws were kind of taken, like London High was taken and then the next low that I would want to go to is like 114 points down. Um yeah, so like I would be interested in taking a short from this more premium gap. And yeah, okay, next day. It's probably gonna be the last day. Um, I know it's been a pretty long time, 41 minutes. So I'm probably gonna do some back testing. I'm gonna try to save this one specifically for the YouTube, and then I'm gonna have like a separate, maybe like back testing another year for my own personal time. But I do really like doing this for YouTube because I look like yapping and shit. So, um, daily, like we're still reacting from this daily sweep liquidity. Looks like we just want to push higher. We have this unfilled 4 hour that we can target on both indexes. Um, and then we have London that was swept already, unfortunately, but yes, it's pretty close to that next gap. I am leaning a bit more bullish here. 8:30 news. That's probably gonna be like already swept out. Already swept out. I am leaning more bullish, like I said. Perhaps maybe we come and sweep like London low inside of this hourly fair value gap and push us higher. Um, for shorts, I'm just not really interested in taking anything, especially from this gap. It kind of just looks like very like it's not responsive by anything, to be honest. So now we just swept out this intermediate 15 intermediate high, 15 and high inside of this big ass New York opening gap. Am I interested in taking shorts from here? Kind of, actually. It's not even that bad of an idea. Um, but then the close would be at 4-0. Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate. And then, like, we still have London low to target as well. On ES, it kind of looks like we're just respecting this 5. And then on the NAS, it kind of looks like we just swept out this 15-minute range. This would be seen as protected as it's a high with an SMT on it. Am I still interested in taking this 4-minute short? I don't think it's like that bad of an idea, but I'm almost certain that my RR would be lucky, or like my risk would be kind of skewed here. This is the next 4-minute candle. There's not much I can take as of now. Can I take this? This high's protected. Um, we're respecting this gap on the 5-minute. It's like we're not really in any gap that, like, we are technically inside of this hourly gap, but it's kind of just like awkward. I don't think I've ever taken a trade like this, to be honest. but it looks pretty juicy. And then we already have S&T. Okay. I'm hoping that the next coming months will be less like poo-poo when it comes to PA. And then on ES, what are we doing? We edged this fucking London low, which is really annoying. But we did sweep out. Nothing really. 10 a.m. is about open. Orange folder news again. 10 a.m. opens. Manipulates higher. Manipulates higher. We could possibly get some like, oh, we just tapped into this fresh 4-hour gap. That is quite interesting here. Again, looks like we're just displacing higher. We just swept up this hourly gap. I know I'd stop talking, but trying to see like if I missed any opportunities. There was this, I guess, inversion, but it wasn't really any gap that I would be interested in taking. From this, in hindsight, was very shit. I don't even know why I considered that one. We still could do like a generation play potentially. We just look like we're overall really fucking bullish. Draws and liquidity. Guess we still have like these highs we can target, but I would want to see a pretty big displacement lower in order to push us higher. Did we enter a gap? Nope, nothing yet that I like. Like this right here, we didn't really enter any gap that I would want to take along from, to be fair. Okay, well, that was the week over. I'm hoping I didn't really skip out on anything. Holy shit, 2025 January looking like Bomberaz. 6 break-even trades. Hindsight, we did have a break-even trade. The second one that would have slapped if I um took my profits earlier. Broke 1% on the year. Damn, that's cooked. And this is what the stats are looking like. Kind of dookie. But yeah, this week right here, like I said, I don't know why it's going up so much. Holy shit. This week right here was, yo, was ass. And only took two, I think it was 2 break-even trades, so yeah. Um, I guess there's not just too much opportunity for 2025 January, unless I'm like missing on something, but from what I'm seeing, not much. That's going to conclude today's 2025. I might record a second part later today, but we'll see. P&L, a bit higher. Let's go. If I bought a prop firm in 2025 January, I would have been fucking cooked. Would have went the most of the entire month not trading, so yeah, okay. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in. Oh, shoot, I just realized that I was barely on the camera the entire time. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.